Welcome to another episode of SyncTalk. I'm Victoria Wiltshire, and today we're looking at the rising trend of using music to create games, specifically in the category of hyper-casual games. If you've played one of the hit games Magic Tiles 3, Tiles Hop, or Dancing Road, you are playing a game from Amanotes, the fast-growing global music tech company based in Vietnam. Amanotes has garnered over 1 billion downloads worldwide, with almost 100 million users each month. Wow. Their mission is to delight people with magical musical experiences, and it looks like a lot of people agree. They are listed as the #1 mobile apps publisher from Southeast Asia and #1 music games publisher in the world. Here to help us dive into the topic, I'm delighted to welcome Vova, Amanotes Product Manager, who is also a passionate game designer with over 7 years experience. Vova and his team transform exciting ideas into chart-topping mobile games where users can experience music in fun and unconventional ways. We are also joined by Michelle Nguyen, who's held a number of key marketing and PR roles for such organizations as the Vietnamese Broadcasting Channel. As Amanotes PR and Communications Specialist, Michelle wishes to tell the world about the story of the music tech pioneer to fulfill the global vision of everyone can music, which is perfect. Welcome, Vova.
Hi, it's a pleasure to be talking with you.
Thank you, same to you. And welcome, Michelle.
Hello there.
Hello, thanks for being here. Oh, perfect. So it's just breakfast time here in Los Angeles, but I think it's dinner time for you, yes?
It is roughly 10:30.
Yeah, actually, it's late night supper time already.
Okay. Well, so then enjoy your supper once we're done. So, Vova, perhaps we can start with you. It's a really fascinating subject, I think. For those who are unfamiliar with the term hyper-casual games, perhaps you can give us a quick explanation.
So, because we are in the topic of meal and supper, if you think the AAA games is like a 3-course meal, then games like Candy Crush Saga, and the puzzle games Homescape, Gardenscape is like a short week snack, and like hyper casual games is a simpler level than that, kind of like the backup chip you have on the side, but like this is by no means a small market. Yes, so you don't have to invest a lot of time in playing hyper-casual games, like not 45 up to an hour, like all the AAA games. You can have whip out your mobile phone anytime and have some 5 minutes of fun. Basically, fun in a pocket. That's it.
I love it. Fun in a pocket. And I think that's quite true, because last year there was a real boom for hyper-casual games, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so what do you think happened to cause that boom? Any explanations?
Actually, hyper-casual games was always there, like right from the start of the iPhone App Store. There is simple games, and like the earlier hyper-casual games, like Cut the Rope. I think you're familiar with that, or Angry Bird. And then as more game developers jump in, more AAA players jump in, the games get more complex. Then we get Clash of Clans later, and then we got a lot of like AAA console level games on mobile later. So the independent, small studio realized that they can't really compete with these big player, and so they start go the other direction, that is simplify their ways and to reach to a wider audience, not just hardcore gamer or like the traditional way you see a gamer, the kind of like the nerdy type, but like the everyday people, everyone can play a games, and yeah, and that's how you get like the pitch of hyper casual.
Great. I love that. That's a great explanation. It looks like Milo has decided to join the conversation. Do you know about hyper casual games, Milo? He does. He just wants love. So maybe we can talk about how Amanotes actually started.
It all started from a Facebook post. So actually, one of our co-founder, Bill, he was a tech manager from a hardcore game company, and one day he decided that his passion all along was music, and he wanted to deliver the same passion, the same magic experience he has with music to everybody. So he sent a Facebook post to a entrepreneur group asking for someone to accompany him in his new journey. And then the other co-founder, Silver, replied, and they started out from Silver apartment with a small team, and they make some simple games. It's like that's what they the only thing they can really make, like for a small team, for small studio, and like they got some early success, and it's scaled up, and we have the tech company Amanotes today.
And I also want to add something is that like from the very start that our like founder, Mr. Bill, together with Silver, they actually share like the same language of music. So they both love music and they both have expertise in technology. So they want to use something that they're good at to help deliver this passion of music like to the world in a more novel way, I would say. Like some people just think of music as like a form of entertainment, but music actually like connects us on a different level, and technology does help bring it to another level.
I agree.
So I think, yeah, that's the core start of our business.
We're talking about just such an increasing trend of infusing music into games. What does this mean for music creators? Does it mean more placement opportunities for them?
Yeah, obviously it means a larger audience, like a larger reach, and a more a better delivery method. And actually, the mission of Amanotes is that everyone can music. That means there is more than one way of enjoying the music, not just listening. Like they make games, music games, because we want people to have a experience of actually interact with the music. Yeah, to be deep in it. So a wider audience and a new way for people to enjoy your music.
Let's shift our perspective now to the actual development process. Not many people would know what goes on behind the scenes of creating a game. They just play it and it's really quick, it's enjoyable, it's addictive, which is what we want to do. However, there's a lot of work that goes on behind to actually get it developed. How does Amanotes actually decide what games to develop in the first place?
Actually, it's a very interesting question, and actually we let the market decide, because like it's you all know that like it's the same as music. Like what make a good piece of music and what make a good game, we can argue about that forever without like reaching any agreement. So for every idea that go through our first screening, like our sanity check, that like has the potential to be a good game, we make a weak prototype on it, to deliver the core experience that we want the people to feel and to play with the music. And we see if we put it to a soft launch, and we collect the metric to see if the people really like the games, and if the game is really scalable to a really large audience. And the one that match the metric will be a scale and get more polished, and the other one we have to put in the back burner for another day.
That makes sense. Do you get to test all the games? I bet you would spend a lot of time testing, yeah?
Yes. And testing and analyzing the player data.
And did you drive your parents crazy when you were little, just playing games all the time, and then you turn it into a big career, right?
Oh, like I remind them of that every day. Like back when I was in school, they tell me like I can do anything good later in life, like spending that much time on that Nintendo. Yeah. Then every day I tell that, I see that, Mom.
I'm sure they're very proud of you. What about you, Michelle? Do you test all the games too, or do you leave that up to Vova?
Well, I think he has like a very dedicated team on that testing. So yeah, like for me, I would be more like on like the user eyes, because I'm not a very techie girl, but I also love playing games, and if I get to test all the games, it would take like the whole day.
That's a good point, though. It's a great idea to get different kinds of perspectives on testing the games, because you're going to get such a wide range of audience playing them. So even people who aren't techie, as you say, Michelle, there would be some very valuable insights in there. How do you choose the music that gets used in the games? What's your process there?
Back in the day when we still have a small catalog of music, so we choose the music that fitting to the theme of the games. So if you think that like X games aiming at a certain experience, want to drive some certain emotion, and music is the key emotion driver. So if I want some upbeat games, then I have like select upbeat, dancey music to it. If I want to make some artsy games, some abstract game, I select like kind of like Zen-like and abstract music to it. But like lately, we think that we should let the player decide. So if it's not too crazy, we add like the music, a lot of music to our games, and see like the better performance one pop up to the top.
Well, I think that's smart, letting the users decide, or letting your audience lead the charge there. And that's probably why you have hit games on your hands. Yeah. Well, is there a particular type of music or genre that gets used more, or is more suitable for games?
Yeah, sure. First, like we have to know our audience. So I'm not I don't like to assume anything, but most people playing games is like on a younger side. We want to reach everyone, but they are on a younger side, and they are playing upbeat games. So techno, dance, EDM, this kind of these genre are more popular and more niche music. Why I like them? I like classical. And like I have respect for heavy metal and like hardcore punk. They will not really don't cut it commercially.
I'm sure a lot of music creators would love to hear this, some guidelines as to what really can work in gaming. So on that, how would these music creators get their music to you for consideration? Michelle, what do you think?
Right. So like in the past, like for all of our games or for all our apps before, we will have a dedicated licensing team that would reach out to like big labels for licensing like the top like music on the charts right now. So we also monitor like the global chart and also some like localized charts to see which songs like perform best. We'll try to get those songs. But recently we have been working with some like smaller labels. So we have like opportunities for like indie artists and also like smaller artists. They have like more unique tunes to be included in our apps. That would be such a beneficial way, like a win-win situation for both sides, because like in our apps we have like more enriched content, but for like the artists, like they will have like a different platform to be promoting their material. And yeah, like we've been able like to work with Songtradr for this exclusive like 1,000 song library deal. So we have been selecting very carefully, like a list of, I would say like 80% of our selection would be on like the pop side, a pop ballad side from your library. So I think like for artists that are working with Songtradr at the moment, um, everyone has like this chance to be featured on our apps. Yeah. So
we're very happy to have you on Songtradr. I think it's fantastic having that portal, directly into Amanotes. So everyone out there, if you want to get your music into Amanotes, then you can actually go through Songtradr and be listened to directly by the people who are making the choices, which is one of the things that we're really about here is connecting the opportunities for the music creators. But you don't just do music games, do you? What else do you do?
Right. So now, do you want to take that one, Vova? Right. Okay. I'll start first. So Vova will have some more notes on technical details. But for us, like on building that vision, like everyone can music, we try to innovate like new ways to enjoy music. When people think of music, like you take up like a piece of song and you just listen to it, like you stream it, and that's about it. Like the industry is big, we know that. So, but we try to make people listen to music in a more creative way. That's why like the music games came in. Like by playing, you're also streaming the song, and then you can have this very interactive experience with the song itself. So music game is actually our foundation to tap into that vision everyone can music. But we also thinking of like the layers like after this, like what's next after these games are like they're all successful already. What's next for us? So like our next steps would be on like simulation. So building tools that simulate these musical instruments. So people won't have to buy like fancy piano that costs thousands of dollars, but they can also like yeah do simulation on yeah. So you can now have like good millions of musical instruments in just your phone. And also we try to push this kind of movement towards like music education. So not only you can like listen to it, play it, but also you can learn it and teach it. Yeah, and that's how we are all connected within this sustainable music ecosystem, music tech ecosystem, I would say.
Yeah, amazing. Vova?
Okay, Michelle's is a pretty good answer. My answer is like really less techy than that. So we are first and foremost a music company. So besides thinking music as a way to enhance the game, we also look at the games as the way to improve the way that you interact with the music and the way to deliver the music to the audience. Also, like we start with games because when games are more accessible than like education apps, music education apps, and simulation apps, and like the rest has is pretty cool for that.
Amazing. And so, just if we go to the flip side for a second, just very quickly, for any game developers out there, what are some things that they should be thinking about when they're choosing a soundtrack, for instance?
I think first, know your games, and second, know your audience. Your games will have a theme and have a core emotion reaction from the player that you want to drive. If you look at the successful games lately, and like from every of all time, one of the most successful games from Vietnam, Flappy Bird, it drives a strong emotion. That is frustration, but that's another story. The other games Pirate Kings and even AAA like Dota and League of Legends, they are all success because they drive a strong emotion reaction from the player, and the emotion is what stick to the player mind. So what the emotion of reaction that your games you want to drive in the player, and what kind of music will have to resonate and amplify that emotion.
Yeah, it's true. It is all about the emotion, and that's not just exclusive to gaming, of course, isn't it? It's across film, TV, advertising. It's always about connecting to that emotion, isn't it? That's
Yes.
what makes us feel like we're alive, right? And then how about for music creators? What are some tips that you could maybe pass on to them, or maybe what are some mistakes that they could avoid if possible?
There really no definitive answer on this. Like if you ask all the successful music creator, there is like, can you make the next hit songs, or can you tell me how to make a race song? They can do that, but there are a lot of like guidelines we can follow. Like first, like I've been saying that a lot, but know your audience. So if you're making music for hyper casual games, your audience will be more on the younger side, so they will maybe not really big on classical music or hardcore punk or hardcore metal, maybe a little bit of lively, upbeat, and dancey, like EDM, pop, rock. Basically, if your music reflects the top chart, then you have a higher chance of reaching a large amount of audience. Am I making sense?
Absolutely, you are making perfect sense. Michelle, did you have anything else to add before we wrap?
I definitely think that just like looking at the charts, you would see like this kind of pattern, like this kind of like success formula for like young artists, like reaching this young community, like Vova said that totally. But I also think that like as we work in this kind of creative field, is always best to actually stick to your inner voice, because like you have this passion, you have this own style, and you have this talent. So if I am to give an advice, it's always best to go with the genre that you are most comfortable in. So when you trying to pitch this kind of music to like the some kind of like publisher in all categories, I would say, not just in hyper casual games, then you can like talk about it in the most passionate way. And you can actually describe how this would fit with this kind of market, like you're aiming or they aiming. So yeah, always have this like creative edge in your products. And I think like listening to a song like during our like production like process, like we need to make a lot of like adjustment, like we need to listen to the chord, the beat. We need to have some like reproduction process, I would say. So it's always best if we can work with an artist that actually know the song, is very into the song in the first place. So yeah, always love your product. Don't just create a product just to be featured somewhere, because that will dry down all of your inspiration. But yeah, listen to your voice.
I think that is a perfect way to end this. Vova and Michelle, I think you're doing some amazing things. I'd love to hear the kinds of innovations that you're creating here, and I can't wait to hear about all of the new and exciting things that you're going to come out with in the future. It really was such a pleasure to have both of you on with us today. Thank you so much for carving out a piece of your evening to join us. Wish both of you and Amanotes every success. And I think I'm going to now spend the rest of the morning working out how to play Tiles Hop. So
yeah,
thanks
try our
again.
magic tiles as well. Yeah, thank you for your time, Sarah.